Well, it is New Year's. We gotta get this going. Hi, everybody. It's Thursday. Oh, wait.
No, what is
Sorry,
it?
I missed it already. All right, it's Tuesday, December
Yep.
30th. I'm so used to my regular show, and this is our end of the year. But of course, normally we're not going to be here Thursday. We're too busy celebrating and taking a holiday and all that before we go back to work. So we're coming live at you, and Orly, I know you had a little accident with the gun, but
Yeah, yeah. It's not as bad as that.
Nah,
I'll pop you again, you son of a bitch. I'll get the other eye. You pissed me off.
No. No.
That's what happens when you
Or-
get all these nerds together with guns.
Oh yes.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, it was my fiance who shot me, so. No, this isn't
You
her
had to
fault.
pull
This
out
is
that
actually.
Red Ryder BB gun and shoot it.
No, I was doing some work, and something flew into my eye, and it caused a small laceration. So I'll be
Or like-
cosplaying as Nick Fury today.
Yeah,
Be honest.
you'll be our Nick
Did the
Fury.
fiance put you in your place?
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say you're
Yeah.
starting your cosplay a little early.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's one of
Well,
those days.
we have to wrap up
With the
because
hood, he actually looks like Nick Fury now at the end of Captain America.
Yep.
yeah, put the hood down, man. We're gonna get angry letters.
Now
We gotta talk about.
lawsuit from Disney.
Uh,
You wanted a
Oh, no,
special
we don't
guest.
want-
We got a special guest.
all right.
Well, Yaya didn't. Unfortunately, Yaya never wrote back to me, so I don't know why. But oh well. Neither
I can
did
think of
Adrian
one
Curry or
reason.
any other model.
You know, she's Yaya.
Yeah.
All right. We gotta highlight 2014 because this was a year to talk about because we had a lot of big ups, we had a lot of big downs, and
Oh, yeah.
I gotta bring it up before we get into the movies and all that. It seemed this year came up short, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there were only a couple of things that actually saved the summer movies, Only one movie that really did it, but, I'll let you guys get to that later. But things just didn't pan out as well as they should, It's just like, okay, this is happening, this is happening. That's it. Not more.
But we had so much things to fear this year as well.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically TNMT, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's just deal with the big one that saved summer. I mean, this was the movie that made summer all worth it, and it was the best for last this time. And I'm
Yep.
talking about Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
And this was a highlight. And the question I wanted to ask you guys, because again, we did the review and we all reasonably liked it, except Chino.
Chino doesn't
Would
like
this
anything.
movie be successful if it came out any time? Or was it just the time that made it successful?
I think it would have been successful. It sparked magic with almost every aspect. When it came to special effects, it was great. I liked it, but it connected with people. The characters were great, and I don't know whose brilliant idea it was to go ahead and put the soundtrack that it had, but it was brilliant.
Oh, that was a director.
Yeah, it was a brilliant move. Now, you know what? I understand where you're coming from, that you think that this movie can be timeless, but I think it needed some setup. Because if it was done at any other time, I don't think it'd be as good. There wouldn't be the hype. It wouldn't have certain things. And you know what? Quite frankly, I think the director had something to live up to. Without the previous movies, without Captain America, Iron Man 2, Iron Man, well, not really Iron Man 3, but without everything else, you didn't have that. Without all
disagree.
those, no, I don't I think I'm correct on this. And there are certain things that needed to be set up to allow for it. I don't think it would have gotten even a chance if it had been any other time. If it had been before Iron Man, if Iron Man didn't come out, if that didn't show up, without the other Marvel movies, you would not have this movie. Even it wouldn't even be half as good if they had done it.
If any of the characters had come out before this film, then you might have a chance to say that. But quite frankly, a year ago today, most people knew nothing about this film. What really got this film really off the ground is what I would consider the best marketing campaign I have ever seen. Totally reverse of what happened to John Carter.
Well, now that you brought up John Carter. No, I already said my piece with it.
But no, I would say actually the commercials are what made this so successful because they introduced every single one of the characters. If you didn't, because quite frankly, they never mentioned Spider-Man. They never mention Captain America. They don't mention any of those inside the plot of this film. This film, I think, even outside of Marvel, would have worked.
Yeah,
It
no.
was just a very fun film.
No.
I do not think.
Without its previous predecessors, you wouldn't have this.
No.
Yeah, no, man.
Oh, no. Thor 2 relied on what was going on in Avengers. This did not.
Yeah,
Look,
that's
it
kind
has
of the
the
issue.
It has the Marvel name, all right? The minute you have Marvel, you know what you're going to expect from the movie. If this movie had been produced by Sony or anything else, it wouldn't have been successful, dude.
Give it the same ad campaign. Give it the same everything.
Nope.
A lot of people didn't even realize this was Marvel.
I disagree with you there. Marvel people know this is a Marvel movie, man.
I don't think.
And I think here's the thing, and this is kind of a consensus with a few of you. I think it was basically the power of Disney. Disney made this a hit.
The power of Disney compels you. The power of Disney compels you. Anyway.
Sony would not throw the money that this movie needed for it to be as big. You know what I mean? Sony cuts budgets. Any other movie studio cuts budgets. Disney is the only one that says, all right, you need a couple more $100 million? Sure, here you go. You better make it good or else we're going to kill you. But, it's Disney.
They'll send Goofy out with the baton to go ahead and bust your kneecaps.
Yeah.
And to me, I think they actually planned this ahead. I mean, Chino and I talked about this earlier in the year, how the Marvel Comics altered the characters in the comic books for the movie. Like, they started, 2 years ago, changing the comic book characters. And we didn't know this movie was coming out 2 years ago. We had inklings of it until, a year before it actually came out. But Marvel was already changing it. They were prepping it. They were setting up all their media for Guardians of the Galaxy. When Guardians of the Galaxy came out, they said it themselves. They did not expect it to be a huge hit. The only one who really had faith in it was the director and the cast. And then once they saw it, luckily they didn't do what John Carter, where they backed away. Instead, they decided to throw in millions, throw in a Disneyland promotion, throw Disney behind it, and they made it a huge hit.
Yeah, I have to agree with you to tack on a little bit of something. You're right. I mean, when we saw the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, you saw the Guardians of the Galaxy there. That's the first time they introduced them, and this is way back, 2 years ago, maybe? Like you said,
Yeah.
Then, they also introduced them in, Ultimate Spider-Man. They also got introduced at least there twice, and, the Hulk one. So they were already setting the seeds for this, This isn't, who are these guys? They've worked really hard to already get these guys out there.
Yeah, and
My view is that. I'm sorry.
sorry, but they also introduced them in the cartoon series too, when they had the Super Squatty Squad on Disney XD. It was one of the final episodes, so they were already getting the younger viewers to the teenage viewers who were watching that cartoon curious, who are these Guardians?
Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. First off, Marvel, yeah, they went ahead and introduced these into the the cartoons. But the thing is that they know that most of their audience aren't watching these cartoons or reading the comic books. Not the audience they're really aiming for, which is the general lay people. If it only relied on us fans, it would not have worked. Now, here's the other thing that goes ahead and says, no, it's just not just the Marvel name. This outsold basically Thor, the Dark World. It outsold, and sorry, Chino, yes, it did outsell your basically Winter Soldier. And both of those were riding on the coattails of the Avengers. If it was just that it was a Marvel film, then it would not have had the success that it's having now. I don't think it's just because it was Marvel. I think it's because they had a good movie, they had a great ad campaign. Take away the name Marvel, and I think it still would have been a success.
Yeah, no.
No, you're just counting the fact that, you know what, we had an introduction to them in other mediums. You know what? Who's going to go ahead and get the parents that don't know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy to watch this? The kids that know it. They watched the Disney XD. They watched all that stuff. They got the introduction for it. So at least they got that. And then you got the fact that you got the name Marvel behind it. You got Marvel, and Marvel now is synonymous with quality. You got the quality. So you know what? Once they get that, you know what, that's going to go ahead and help you go through. And you know what, it's not only that, but it was a lot more than just that. It was a lot of things. I think you're right on a certain extent. It was a great ad campaign. It was a great bit of stuff that they did, but it wasn't only that. It had to have some teeth behind it. And you know, without that, you would not have the success that you would have had with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Either way, it was a wonderful film. The best of the year. Raise your hands if you think this was the best movie of the year.
What?
Well, he's asking for a vote, but you know, I gotta say I liked it. But this next one that we're gonna move on to, I picked as my movie of the year. Because again, I gave Guardians of the Galaxy an A, but I still thought that Captain America: The Winter Soldier was a better movie. And it rode on the code. You know, this is the examples that we're talking about. This is the one movie that actually did ride on the coattails. It did already have the history. It did already have the build-up, because we saw Captain America in his own movie. We saw him in the Avengers. This is now a follow-up to it. And because you had all this history, I thought The Winter Soldier was a damn fine film because it kept being consistent with the quality. We mentioned about the good quality Marvel and Disney has. Whenever I cite a good example of what a franchise can do, I have to point out to Captain America. That was an excellent movie, and it's my favorite for 2014.
I still prefer the original Captain America to the Winter Soldier. Sorry. I did not like Winter Soldier as much as that one. And you know what? It was a good movie, but it wasn't the best. I still preferred Guardians of the Galaxy over Winter Soldier. I still liked it. But yeah, you're right. You know, it is an example of a franchise that is good. And I did like it, but I didn't like it as much as some of the other ones.
When it comes to me, if I really break it down, I have to say I like Captain America a lot more, simply because of the complexity. It raised some questions that actually at the end of the movie I was still kind of asking myself, you know what, that's a good point. There is no, you know, as much as we'd like to see things as black and white, you know, that movie really made you consider that there's a lot of gray. in the world. And just for that, for putting the idea out there and make me think about it, is where I liked it. Also, I think about Guardians of the Galaxy, and Guardians of the Galaxy in a lot of ways is like Avenger. I mean, would you have gone and seen a movie called Star-Lord? I don't know. I'm not sure. Sending just one movie called Star-Lord, would that be successful? I can't tell you. Personally, in my opinion, I don't think a movie just called Star-Lord would work. Okay. I think
I
a lot
will
like
concede.
It needs to be ensemble. Yeah.
When was Star-Lord? No, when was Star-Lord created?
1970s.
Yeah, it has a perfect 70s sci-fi name to it.
Yeah, well, come on, Drax the Destroyer. Can you make a movie just built on that?
Or Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon from the 1980s. Gamora.
Or Groot.
Or Groot,
Gamora.
yeah.
Yeah.
Standalone.
when
The
Groot
question
came
here is this: standalone, would they be a good movie? Yes or no? What's your opinion? I don't think so. I think it has to be an ensemble. I don't think on their own it would work. You know what I mean?
But
So when
I
we're talking
never
about
said
Captain America and Guardians of the Galaxy, we're talking about one character as opposed to 5 characters carrying the movie. So Guardians of the Galaxy for me is a lot like Avengers. You know what I mean? It's the ensemble thing that makes it successful. It's not just the one person there or one character there.
That's what I
Yeah,
said.
but yeah,
great
you pointed
ensemble
out
cast.
you pointed out the same thing. I mean, Captain America, and the reason I liked it so much because we know Avengers was good. Avengers was a great movie. It worked. Steve Rogers was one of the main characters in that movie. He had the second most screen time in that movie. And his own movie, to me, worked because I liked that character. I really enjoyed that character development he had in The Winter Soldier. Dealing with the modern world, the issues like we talked about, that things are gray, and the issues of basically, again, of being an American. Do we side with fear, or do we continue believing in our beliefs, and do we sacrifice principles? And again, that's why I gave it a higher ranking, because I thought that movie dealt with more issues. Guardians of the Galaxy, you're right. It's a little more straightforward. It was a little more an adventure movie. But I enjoyed Captain America because it gave me the action that I wanted, the action that I saw. They dropped a lot of hints of upcoming villains and heroes. And it did, especially after credits. Again, I wanted to see because it's leading up to Avengers Age of Ultron.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll bring up some stuff later on about that, because there's some. I'm having a little bit of an issue with what's going on with the script.
Well, perhaps we should talk about the third one that I thought was one that actually hit it out of the ballpark, and it was X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Yeah, you know what I liked about the Days of Future Past is the fact that they rectified some really bad storytelling, killing off some characters and changing certain things that should not have been changed, and taking a epic storyline, the Dark Phoenix saga, in the Marvel universe, and then turning it into a piece of tapioca trash. And I am just hoping, I am wanting that epic saga of love, betrayal, psionics, destruction of a star, and then finally, Nazi trolls from the moon. That's what we need.
Ultimate Hitler riding a T-Rex.
Don't get it started. All right.
Versus JFK on a unicorn in space.
Okay.
X-Men,
No,
if we're gonna talk about X-Men, I think I liked X-Men kind of for the same reasons I like Captain America. There, you also have some of that gray. You have some big questions in that movie. Is what he's doing right? And well, if what he's doing is wrong, why is it wrong? Can you justify what he's doing is wrong? You could make an argument either way. You can say he's wrong for these reasons, but you could say he's wrong, but he's right for these reasons. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. It raises that again, I like the Gray in that movie too.
Hmm.
And the thing I gotta say, I rewatched the X-Men: Days of Future Past this holiday, and I really do love the complexity they dealt with because they tackled on the history, the full history. I enjoy seeing Patrick Stewart back again. I enjoyed Ian McKellen. I know this is probably the last time we're going to see these actors play these roles again, but they tied it
Sad
up
that.
really in a nice package. And we brought it up. They left it open to literally start fresh again with a new cast, new stories, bring everything back. And I know you guys disagreed with me when we talked about this in the summer, but I still say this should have been Hugh Jackman's last Wolverine movie. I'm ready for another actor to play Wolverine.
Well, the question is who? Really and
Yeah.
truly who? Because eventually,
Yeah.
yes, he needs to be replaced because Wolverine is an ancient, ageless person. He has to keep on going.
Yeah,
He
I
still
agree with
brings in the
Orgy.
girls.
I mean, you could replace him, but dude, whoever comes in is gonna have a lot, big shoes to fill. You know what I mean? You can't
And he-
just get anybody.
and he's
Get
still
a
drag-
lot, it would be a disaster.
You have to remember, Hugh
You know-
Jackman still brings in the girls.
You know what you need to do? Just clone Hugh Jackman. Clone the man and then keep on spitting him out. That's what you got to do with all these actors. If you want to keep, you got to clone. We need clones. You know what? Stem cell research, we got to put lots and lots of money in that stuff because you know what? Hollywood needs the clones. We need the Attack of the Clones on the screen. That's what we need.
Orly,
Wait,
you
we've already
remind me
cloned
of,
animals. How much?
Huh?
You know what? I could see Hugh Jackman, but I see him in that scene from Alien Resurrection. Kill me after you try to clone. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. Hugh Jackman clone, man. That's what I see happening. Okay. Why? Because I want to do more X-Men movies. Really?
But still, I mean, as sad as it is, history says that there will always be an actor who will come up to it. I mean, Hollywood has a way. You search high enough, you search long enough, you will find the actor. Remember, for those who don't know the trivia, Hugh Jackman was not the first choice for Wolverine.
No.
Doug Ray Scott was going to be Wolverine, but
He would have been
unfortunately
great,
he would.
too.
Yeah, he would have done an amazing performance. Not the way he looks now. If you see Doug Ray Scott now, no, he doesn't. Okay, he aged bad. But back in the day, he would have been an amazing Wolverine. He had the look, he had the style, he had the muscles. So eventually you search, you will find another actor to fill the role. I mean, it's going to be tough. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you search high and low enough, you will find somebody. I mean, same thing. Star Trek is supposed to get shooting soon, and rumors is Zachary Quinto doesn't want to do Spock. Well, you hold auditions, and we will find another actor to be Spock. Why? Because
Yeah.
we found Leonard Nimoy. We found Zachary Quinto. We'll find somebody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, but that's a bad
Clones.
example because when you really think about it, you compare Hugh Jackman to all the years, and you brought this up, all the years he's played Wolverine, all right? Compared to Zachary Quinto and all the years he's played Spock, it's not really a good example.
But still, the point is, you're going to find somebody. There
Clones.
will be an actor who will have the stuff, who will have the ability to push forward and convince us this is Wolverine.
What was
Just
the name
like-
of the guy that?
One of
What
the
was
other
the name of
Like
the
you
guy
things.
said,
that
for the
plays Bane?
sequels. Well,
One of the-
Bane, it was Tom Hardy.
Can you see him as Wolverine?
He's a good actor. But, yeah, he could. He's getting up there in age. No, he's getting up there in age. You got to find. Keep in mind, this is a time travel movie, so you got to find a younger actor. I mean, the next one.
Renee, I'm going to kill it with one thing. They can still do it until he's as old as can be. Perfect example, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator, the next one. With computers, he could be 91, and they're still going to be able to computer generate him back to this age.
Yeah, you know what?
Kelly, are you going to be okay with a 90-year-old Hugh Jackman?
Let's see. With the CGI technology out there, pretty much.
Alright, you know, I'm gonna say this. You
I
know,
was talking with
if
a
I
few
see
people on the Jason versus Freddy 2 that they proposed, and everyone says, "Oh, Robert Englund's getting too old." I said, "No, CGI. Get what they
All the
did for
prosthetics. I mean, Freddy Krueger's not an action hero.
No,
All he has to do is just show up with the knives, with the prosthetics, and I mean, Robert Englund starting to look like Freddy Krueger anyway. And
that's mean.
Angry letters to be sent to David.
I will agree with Renee on one point though. If I see Wolverine and he takes out the knives and his hands are trembling, he can barely put him up. You know, that is gonna take me out of the movie. You know.
well, you accepted it in the Crystal Skull.
Well, Gino, I'm gonna bring up a name. Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. Don't bring that guy up, dude. Every time I saw him wrestle, I'd be like, dude, I'll get in for him. You know, I'll get in. I'll get my butt kicked, but I feel bad. Let Grandpa down. I'll get in there.
I mean, it's aging wrestlers, man.
You're
I mean,
not a wrestler, man.
I know, but it's kind of the same premise. It's like, we love our heroes. Hey, I love The Undertaker, but I saw how The Undertaker looks like today, and I want to give him a big hug and take him back to the nursing home. I mean, you got to call it a day eventually.
All right, well, let's move on. With X-Men, though,
Yeah.
what was a surprise for you? Because I know what surprised me completely in this movie, and I made fun of it before the movie.
Well, I gotta say,
Well, never mind, I'll just go with it.
this is my. I liked it overall. I like the idea, and I'm excited that there is a new one. I mean, we posted it up on our page that Bryan Singer showed some special effects shots that he's doing, and we know Apocalypse. That's what I was excited about. The disappointment was, and again, Sony. I am disappointed. I've grown to dislike Sony so bad, and we'll talk about that in a few. And that climax was just so weak.
I thought
I mean, really.
I thought it was Warner Brothers.
Was it? I thought it was Sony.
No, I thought that it was Warner Brothers. I thought I can fact check right now.
Yeah.
I'll check right now. It was my mistake if I make it.
Well, but I'll go with you. There's certain other reasons Sony disappoints us, and we'll get into that in a few minutes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Let's see. Fact checking.
Well, you guys talk. You.
Well, of course what he's going to talk about is we were going ahead and so excited to see the Sentinels, and they let us
we're
down.
both wrong. It was 20th
Who
Century
made it?
Fox.
Fox.
20th Century Fox.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have our beef
Okay.
to pick with them anyway, but
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what? One of the things that I was looking forward to was seeing the other X-Men, Kitty Pryde. That was something I was looking forward to, and then they give her some weird powers. So I'm like, what? She's able to send them to the past? When did she develop that one? I don't think you can develop that superpower, And yeah, of course, the Sentinels themselves were, seeing them and, their design was good, but I was expecting more. I was expecting more out of the Sentinels. I was expecting more battle. I was expecting something a little bit more epic at the end. Oh well.
yeah, but ultimately ultimately the job of this movie was to save the franchise, and it did.
And it did.
Yeah, but it did have weaknesses. I mean, for me, the biggest weakness is the future. The future scenes, you know, I, I like them, but I kind of wish there were two movies. You know what I mean? I wish there was a movie with the present and a movie with the future. I would have probably enjoyed that a little bit more. Because as cool as the scene of the future were, we didn't really get enough of them. You know what I mean? We got, basically we got the story in the past, and it centered over that completely. So it seemed they just tacked on the future thing, which I don't know, seems a little like a disservice to me.
I was expecting more from Bishop. I mean, I remember him from the TV series, the animated series, like from the 1990s, and I was expecting a lot more from Bishop because I got used to seeing him as the time traveler that always got it wrong. Something went wrong with what he did. You see, like, okay, the technovirus. That was they got the antibodies that they needed, but the future turns into crap. Then he changes the past and he comes back. The future is great, except we're dying out and there's a problem with our genetic code. And they're like, oh crap, really? He never gets it right.
I want to see that on a T-shirt. Bishop, the man who always gets it wrong.
Yeah.
I was expecting him to be the one that was able to bring in the whole time travel bit. You are right with Kitty Pryde going ahead and having that superpower. Where the heck did that come from?
Yeah. I was expecting the same thing. I was expecting more from Bishop. Not to just see him do one little thing and that's it. And, he gets fried up by some Sentinels.
Yeah, I think that's a problem. I think they just tacked on the future. I think that's basically what they did,
Yeah.
Remember, the movie basically revolves on the past. Basically, that's where the center of everything is at. And they just said, oh, we'll throw in some of the future in there, which, like I said, feels like a disservice to me,
Well, I can tell you what the whole problem was in a nutshell. And in a nutshell and this is the big battle that's coming, is that now we're under the shadow of Marvel Studios, Disney backing. 20th Century Fox is not going to throw the money these movies require. It could have been a little longer. The special effects could have been a little better. They could have done a little more development. You're right. They could have even made 2 movies, but they're not because they don't want to throw the money. They don't have Disney money, and Disney. I think part of it is going now and saying, "Hey, we're going to make these epic, super fantastic, huge movies," and because they kind of see it in those leaked emails from Sony and all that, is that they want them back. They want Marvel. They want X-Men. They want Spider-Man, which we'll talk in a minute. They want Fantastic Four, which is going to get handed to them on a silver platter next year. And
yeah,
elaborate.
But it's 4 years
you
too
need
late.
to elaborate more. Yeah, you need to elaborate a little bit more.
We'll
a shiny silver platter.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. No, not a silver platter. Golden platter with an apple in its mouth.
No, even better. No.
A platinum Tiffany platter with a golden apple being carried in.
No. I got an even better one. It's gonna be delivered in a shiny silver surfboard. You know what I mean. That's what we need.
Now we got to jump and talk about, to me, which was actually one of the greatest disappointments of 2014. And I got to admit, this is a big hue to Sony. Spider-Man 2. Yeah. Sony, you blew it.
Oh, God.
Well, let's be fair. Let's say what All right, let's cards on the table. Andrew Garfield is not the problem in this movie. Okay?
No.
I love him as Spider-Man. I liked him in the first one. I think he's amazing. He's what brings amazing to Spider-Man. Okay, that's just it though. Just Spider-Man, not anything else in the movie.
And that is what's wrong with Sony, because in the leaked emails that was in the news and all that, partly they blame Andrew Garfield. And I'm like, these guys have their heads so far up their behinds, yeah, that they blame the star of the movie, which is actually one of the best things in that movie, and not
The
anything
only
else.
thing in that movie.
I blame
The
the
only
director.
good thing. I blame the studio and the director.
Too many cooks.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, once again, I'll go ahead and throw out the line: "Never go full retard."
Oh,
Please send
you
angry
used
letters to David.
it.
Oh,
In this case, never go full nerd with when it comes to basically Fox's character. I'm sorry, that was the biggest
Look.
stereotype that, I mean, all of us should be mad at that stereotype.
Yes. Well, point blank, number one, what they did is not respect the character and his original plot line. He is a thief. He's a man who likes to rob things for money. He wants to go ahead and just get money. He doesn't care about being recognized by anybody. He doesn't have any hang-ups about being him. He just is there to steal money. He wants to go ahead and get money. He has no other motivations. And they didn't respect his motivation for the cash. The Electro is a thief. Point blank, very smart about it. And you know what? He can do whatever he wants with that. He does that. He just wants to go ahead and steal for the heck of it. He doesn't want friends. He doesn't care about friends. What friends? Hey, can I get
You're
some
all
money with
looking at
friends?
me.
Yeah.
I'm
Getting
sorry.
all the attention. The attention's mine. I'm getting all the attention. Ha ha
Yeah.
Hey,
ha.
okay, and if that was what they had on there, I mean, what's wrong with having our villains be villains?
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with a villain that is evil? And you don't have to explain why he turned evil. You just have an evil guy.
And he doesn't need to be liked. He doesn't need to be.
Oh,
He
no.
doesn't
He
need
doesn't-
that.
And in fact, he likes not being liked. What's
He wants
wrong
to
with
be
having a
feared.
villain? Yeah. What's
Uh-oh.
wrong with one of those villains? I
Let
mean,
me tell
most
you-
of Spider-Man's villains, I mean, you know.
No, David, let me tell you what's wrong with that. Because we saw that example like within the first 10 minutes of the movie, and I'm talking about the Rhino. Paul Giamatti, brilliant actor, amazing actor. I gotta kill you. Ah!
I don't need a freaking backstory to my bad guy.
Do
My
the line.
bad guy,
Do the line.
it's
Go ahead, Chino.
Renee, do the line. You do the line better than anybody.
No, you do it, man.
Oh, the Rhino. See, I don't do it as well as you do.
Hey, look. You know what? They forgot to tell him that he wasn't in a cartoon, and he decided to play a cartoon. And you know what? It wasn't even the good kind of cartoon that we watched when the Rhino was on Spider-Man back in the 90s.
I mean,
Let me ask you
it
guys a question. Let me ask you a question. All right. Say they got rid of the Electro angle. What villain could Jamie Foxx play, using the same character and everything, that was an Electro, that you think might have worked in this movie?
no, it would have worked as Electro if he would have been an Electro that's not a geeky, stupid.
Mobius.
No. That's what I'm saying. Get
I mean-
rid of the Electro angle.
No,
What
no,
other
no,
villain
no, no.
could he play?
If Electro had been what he was supposed to be, which is a thief
Yeah, but he's not.
that has
No. We're taking
That
out the
has-
Electro. David, you're not understanding the question. He's
Okay.
taking out the Electro, and what good Spider-Man villain
No.
would Jamie Foxx be able to play?
No. Let me
Electro,
explain
but
something.
Electro from the comics.
I'm going to
that
side with
basically-
David. Let me explain David's angle a little better.
All right.
Electro would have worked. The design of Electro was brilliant. When we first saw pictures, we were like, wow, that's cool. But they made him a two-dimensional character.
Yep.
Somebody should have gone over there, slapped the screenwriter, slapped the director, and said, hey, make this guy a little more realistic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
This is
yeah.
what
Then you
Electro
would've
was
come out with-
supposed to be. This is what Electro is supposed to be. He's a thief. He's
Yeah.
a villain.
Yep.
But he is the antithesis to Spider-Man. He is just like Spider-Man. He's the celebrity hog, wants to be seen. He goes ahead and has the whippy, lines. If they would have played him as that, with basically giving back to Spider-Man all of those same quips that Spider-Man gives to everybody else, and gives him the problems that Spider-Man gives everybody else, which is the way he was in the comic, he would always go ahead and try to overstage Spider-Man. Instead, you got this weepy little villain that is not really a villain, that we're supposed to really feel sorry for. And I'm sorry, I don't want to feel sorry for the villain. I want to go ahead and see the villain, up to a certain point, go ahead and get the better out of the superhero. Then all of a sudden, the tables are turned and the villain gets what he deserves.
Okay, I could have fixed this. This
Yes.
is what I would have done. I would have made Jamie Foxx still be the employee and all that, but I would have made him evil. I would have made him smart. I would have made him like siphoning or selling technology,
Ooh.
doing something corrupt within that company. And he falls into the accident. He becomes Electro, and all that. And he's like a mercenary, and it would fit in with everything else. He gets captured. Norman Osborn uses the money, or again, bribes him with money to work for him. He wants revenge. It would have worked a lot better. You would have hated the bad guy. You would have rooted for Spider-Man, and it would have been a better movie.
That's why we need to take over Sony.
I think it would have worked better if they got rid of the Electro angle and turned Jamie Foxx into Alistair Smythe. If they'd have turned him into Smythe, I could have seen that a lot better. I could have seen him being a smart character, creating Spider Slayers. You know what I mean? That angle would have been great. You know what I mean? And I just think that would have made Green Goblin even more awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the
Not
thing
the
was,
way he came out.
I like Electro. He's a worthy villain. His design was awesome.
He's a worthy villain in maybe his own movie. You know what I mean? I don't like him with, they tacked on the Green Goblin thing for whatever reason. You know what I mean? If you could get him right in his own movie, and we're talking about Electro. Right? We're talking about a guy who literally can destroy the world if he had his mind to it. If and he's powerful enough to do it, and smart enough. Well, maybe not smart enough, but he's powerful enough to really could become a world threat just on his own.
Now, thank you for bringing up one of the other things that I hated to no end about this film. Number one, okay, Electro sucked. We all agreed about that. All right. How about this? Oh, you're dying of the same disease that I am. So what are you going to do? Oh, you're going ahead and dying of it even quicker than I did.
He looked too much like
all of a sudden,
he looked too much like emo to Tobey Maguire.
Within 15 minutes, it's like, I mean, didn't it seem like to you guys that, all of a sudden this disease that took how many decades to kill his father is all of a sudden killing him within 30 minutes?
Yeah, you know what? As much as that bothered you, that's not what bothered me the most. What bothered me the most was, it's Peter Parker, your old friend. What? When did we establish they were friends? When did we have anything that they even know who they are? And even then, they're having the board meeting at his house. You know what I mean? So, like, what? Let me interrupt this important business decision of me taking over the Empire to go talk to this guy who I haven't seen in I don't know how many years. What? I mean, okay, all right. If Harry Osborn is going out with Peter Parker, all right, that makes sense to me. I can okay, all right. I get that. I understand. Okay, I don't get that. I haven't seen this guy in ages. Let me stop this important meeting to go talk to this dude who I haven't seen in ages. Okay. And another thing, this guy's rich, okay? Where's the security with this guy, has come to see you. Let me go talk to him, blah, 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 What? What? And I'm not just getting started. I mean, you also got let's go to Coney Island. okay, best buddy, best pal, let's go. What? What? All right.
Okay.
Like I said, if it was his boyfriend, now that makes sense. Okay, not that, I don't get it.
Okay.
I don't get it.
Number one, Chino, are you saying that Spider-Man's gay?
No, I'm saying that if he was, that whole scene makes a lot more sense. Okay.
That makes a lot. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
okay. And you guys are bringing back the fact that you know what? We got trailers that show a completely different movie, and then when we go ahead and watch the actual movie, you're like, hey, what happened to this? What happened to them following around Peter Parker to go ahead and figure out if he, you know, if that serum worked? They're like, that whole storyline went out the window all of a sudden, and we've seen trailers to go ahead and say different, and it's like, what the hell happened here?
Oh, we're used to going ahead and having people lie to us. I mean, you know, come on, that was the whole thing with Iron Man 3. But
oh, dude, what they cut from that? If you see the deleted scenes, they cut like 3 storylines. You know, that movie had so many storylines. At the end, Peter Parker's dad is alive. And I'm like, really? Really? If they kept that in the movie, I would have been at the movie theater going, really? This whole thing? Not only is that idea of that secret subway station laboratory ridiculous, because Lord knows we all have a secret laboratory somewhere in our basements and attics at school and at the mall and all that.
Hey, shut up!
Don't tell him.
hey,
Shut up!
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I mean,
every
Kelly's
teacher has a
broadcasting from
laboratory.
her secret headquarters, and you know.
Terradrome. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. As bad as this film was, it was not the worst one we saw this year.
To say the least.
Oh,
To say
yeah.
the least.
As bad as it was not the worst. We must now go to the April O'Neil movie.
Oh yeah. That's her whole movie. It is her movie. We're pushing that April O'Neil is God. Therefore, we must watch April O'Neil for 2 freaking hours. Man, you know what? I think I would prefer to have a colonoscopy that lasted an entire week than watch that.
Okay, all right, guys, you know my standards for movies, right? All right, I wouldn't even rent this movie and fast forward through it. Okay, this is how bad this movie is. Okay?
Well, this movie gave me more than enough time to analyze how plastic Megan Fox is. Okay, that's
Yeah,
I mean,
HD
boy,
is not
she is
friendly to her
plastic.
either.
She is plastic. I mean, Lord, that's a plastic woman.
I mean,
Oh,
Are you comparing her to the living Barbie doll?
no, the
Barbie
living
doll
Barbie
looks better.
doll, I know breathes.
No, the living
It
Barbie
breathes
doll
oxygen.
Peter.
I mean, this movie, the thing that gets me that's so bad was that it really had a good intro. I really like that animated intro that looked like from the Eastman comics, and you see the voice of Splinter saying that the Foot is crushing the enemies, and my sons are, doing this, and at the end you see like the 4 of them looking out at New York, and dun dun, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then April O'Neil, and I'm like, oh, this movie just turned bad. I mean,
Yep.
I can tell you the exact moment that movie turned awful.
Well,
like 5 minutes in.
Let's talk
No,
about.
3 minutes.
I would say, let me go ahead and say the biggest problem with this film. It creates the biggest sin of all time. It takes a big dump on every single source material ever invented. And for people to know, first off, it could have been worse. You know the white guy? The total white guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be this secret, thing. He was supposed to be Shredder. That's how bad it could have been. But
Well, no,
even
dude,
though it
the
didn't
sad
go
thing is-
fully bad, even though it
He
didn't
did
go that
interview-
bad,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What do you say? What do you do in interviews?
No, he said he did interviews where he talked what it was like to be the Shredder. Dude, you weren't the shredder. They edited that out completely.
Yeah, they had to, because people were, people that know the source material are going, say, what? No
The heck
way
is-
that Shredder is no Gaijin son of a going ahead and,
Well,
Now, talk about worst. They did keep the worst in the movie. First off, Splinter is a rat in true. Not that he got changed into a rat. He is a rat. He was never a kung fu master, never a ninjutsu master, didn't train the turtles really. The turtles were trained by a picture book.
a book.
Yeah, probably
You're
bought
learning-
over at Barnes and Nobles over in the children's section.
No, David. David, you have it wrong. You have it completely wrong. Kung Fu Hustle. He had the book for the Buddha's fist.
Oh!
He had the book for that. Come on, that's where it came from.
David. Okay, David. Not to disagree with you. Well, no, actually, to disagree with you. That's not the worst thing about this movie. You gotta remember,
No.
when we first heard about this movie, there were gonna be aliens, dude.
Yeah.
That is the worst part of it.
I'm
There were
talking
gonna
about what
be
they kept in.
aliens,
I'm
okay?
talking about what they kept
Not
in.
turtles.
Yeah, and they even make a line about that in the film.
Yeah,
going ahead and
they
laughing
thumb their
at
nose.
themselves. Yeah, they're laughing at themselves for being such. And here's the bad thing.
There's a worse
there are-
thing?
Well, this is one of the bad things is that there are a lot of young kids out there that have never really been with the original lineup with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in regards to what they were. And the thing is that they don't mind this.
I don't like it.
Unfortunately, I mean, I have one student that when I said that it was one of the worst films, if not the worst film of the year, she's going, no! And I'm going, it's
I have
just,
to deal with this.
I mean, truthfully, the news that you just brought up of the possibility of Michael Bay getting his hands on Thundercats.
Ah!
On that still.
No. Here,
He's gonna
I
go
mean,
after He-Man next.
yeah.
No. That's when I'll get the mob after him.
Oh yeah. Well, we're already going ahead and getting Panthro, Lionel, and all them going ahead and getting them on the line, And we also have He-Man on our side, so we're gonna be.
Let's go back to the movie real quick. And
Yeah.
you are right, David. The movie was a hit, and I've seen it firsthand.
Sadly.
The kids loved it. The young children loved this movie. When it
They
came
don't
out
know
on
any
DVD, I saw tons of kids going to the Walmart, grabbing them, and tons of parents grabbing the DVDs because the kids wanted those movies. It was a huge Christmas gift seller. And I wish I could point out, the kids and show them what a good movie is, but then the original 80s ones wasn't that great. And
Oh no! They were hokey, but they were meant to be hokey. The whole scene, the whole establishing scene that the Foot were going ahead and stealing everybody's things, including the little old lady that goes ahead and turns away, and you see the Foot Clan going ahead and stealing her TV set from off her balcony, and she goes ahead and turns around and does that old double take. That's classic. There's hokey, and then there's just crappy. This was just crappy.
Okay. To put this in perspective, you gotta remember something. When we were kids, we saw an amazing amount of crap. We did. We might not remember it, but we saw some awful stuff, okay? And, now that I'm older and I go back to it, I can remember some of the stuff going, I thought this was good at one time. What was going on? But, that's how it goes. You gotta see some terrible things to, distinguish good from bad. You know what I mean?
Metal
It takes
Storm.
time.
Metal
Okay.
Storm.
All right, I'm going to tell you from my perspective, man. You know what? You guys, I don't know if you guys grew up with watching the original cartoons for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Wonderful thing to watch. I was watching it. Loved April O'Neil. Loved April O'Neil. You know, and her changing dimensions, and everything. And I loved watching them every day. I would watch it every day, see what's going on with the storyline, and it was great. It was a great. It was a great television at the time. And then I heard about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch this. It's going to be great. I'm going to love it. Went to the theater, paid for the tickets, watched it, and it was a severe disappointment because there wasn't any respect for the characters. The main character that I would say that they disrespected each time, and for some reason, Michael Bay did it, and then they did it then, was that Splinter's origin is that he was simply a rat changed into something humanoid. But originally, Amata Yoshi was a human, was exposed to the rats, and because of exposure to mutagen and the rat, he changed into a rat man. And the turtles had been with Amata Yoshi, and so they were crawling around in the mutagen, and they changed into humanoid turtles, and that was their origin. And Splinter had the training; he had already been trained. At least the explanation of Splinter's training was a little bit more plausible in the first Ninja Turtles movie, when they went ahead and said he copied his master while watching his master Amata Yoshi practicing his fighting style, and he was able to learn it from there. But that is severely something wrong. That's trying to go ahead and learn kung fu or ninja skills from a book. I mean,
Orly, I have to disagree with you. I have to disagree with you on this point. It's not a little bit more plausible. It's a lot more plausible than the new one. Okay? A lot more plausible. Okay?
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right.
That's my only point.
Well, and I mentioned this before. It does have a fan base. There is a sequel coming. I mean, they announced there is a sequel.
Yep. Papa and Rocksteady are coming in the sequel.
Yes, you are correct. They did announce, which you kind of know that's the direction they're going. They're going to have more characters and
more Megan
mutants
Fox
and all that. Yeah, more Megan Fox. But I have hope that the sequel will be a little better, and I'm kind of like, okay, let's just write this off, and let's just make a better sequel, because I'm like, you can only go up from here. I can't imagine them going any lower.
There's a lot of stuff.
They can go a lot lower.
I know they can, Kelly, but I don't want them to.
I don't want them to either. Going to.
Don't forget Fantastic Four is coming.
Oh, we're going to talk about those.
Remember how low you can go.
Okay, all right. Let me say this. I hope they do a worse movie, and then Marvel, for some reason, decides to buy it.
By the way, Marvel, if you're listening to us, please, 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 buy Thundercats right now.
That Ninja Turtles, boy, you're at it. Yeah, save them.
Dave.
And He-Man.
He-Man.
Marvel
Kelly,
can't.
Or
Kelly,
Disney,
if
I
they
mean.
get He-Man and She-Ra, at least we're going to have a ride at Disneyland eventually.
Yeah.
You know,
I have the power.
with DC.
No,
So
you guys know if it does go over to Disney, you'll definitely want the live-action He-Man show.
Oh yeah, I can see a whole bunch of my friends and I going there.
Okay.
I remember the live action.
This is for
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, Kelly,
remember the
David
live
went to
action.
the Universal one.
I went to the Universal one. I remember it.
All right.
And
We are running a little short on time, so I want to talk a little bit about what's really quick. Each one, I want you guys. I'm gonna do a roundtable pick. I want you to pick one thing that stood out for you for 2014. I'm going to start with Orly.
One thing that stood out, just at random, one thing that stood out.
Yes, one thing stood out.
Oh god damn! Why did it have to be first?
Skip him. I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay.
The Flash.
You know.
The Flash. That's it. The Flash is the one thing that really made 2014 for me. Okay.
Okay, I got it now. Gotham. Gotham was
Yeah.
great. I love that series. I am looking forward to the series starting up again next Monday.
The end of Doctor Who, not the Christmas special, but the two-parter ending for Doctor Who, really shows what a great Doctor we have.
Hmm.
Kelly?
Unfortunately, my two choices were already taken. Flash and Gotham.
Yeah, damn you, Orly.
Ah. I guess I'd have to go with the Guardians were the best thing.
We're recording.
I want to point out one of the worst to me, which again was one of the downsides that I saw. And again, some of you are going to disagree with me. The Hobbit.
I disagree.
2014.
You know.
I know.
I disagree.
2014 is going to go down as the end. The end of The Hobbit, the end of the road, the end of the journey and all that. But I feel that they kind of... I felt that they went out on a weak spot. That the director just wrapped it up. You know?
I disagree.
I know
Of
you
course
do. But, moving on. Well, it's a lot better than Interstellar, which was a complete garbage dump.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Renee, what was your top, stood out for 2014? You didn't mention yours.
Well, I mentioned it already. It was the Captain America Winter Soldier. I thought
okay.
one was the top one. So I wanted to bring up Interstellar because, the forces in the universe, time, space, matter, antimatter, and love. Apparently, it's love. Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
I want to bring up only one thing. The biggest hype of the year came at the very end of the year, and that has to go ahead and be this whole interview.
Oh god.
The interview. I saw 30 minutes of it, couldn't see it anymore. That is the biggest hyped movie. We all knew it wasn't going to be any good, but the thing is that we do have to thank the hackers for going ahead and giving us some heads up on some of the bad decisions that Sony's been making.
Yeah. I think I'd prefer to eat Arby's than watch the interview.
It was. I mean,
Oh boy.
people are buying it for the wrong reason. I need to be patriotic. No, you don't buy a bad movie, and it is a bad movie. Because you want to be patriotic. That's supporting bad movies.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's move on from the interview and let's just talk about Sony and bad decisions. And Renee brought this up. They wanted to do a 22 Jump Street Men in Black crossover. This is in Sony, you know. This was a Sony idea, man. Yeah, I'm not surprised, actually.
That would have just been painful. Just absolutely painful. And I enjoy those Men in Black movies, but man, I can't stand those Jump Street movies.
No.
And things we got to look forward to in 2015. Jupiter Ascending. It's been held back already for what, almost 2 years?
Yeah.
Supposedly it's coming in February. That's the one with Mila Kunis and Shannon Tatum with elf ears. And, it looks good. I'm a sucker for really good sci-fi movies, and we've argued about the Wachowskis. It looks good. I mean, I did not mind Cloud Atlas that much. I thought it was an ambitious
Cloud Atlas.
project.
Cloud Atlas was great, man. I loved it. It was great. Especially
Yeah,
the
if you
balcony.
could sit through the 6 hours of it. But,
Ugh.
My view on that movie, it looks like it might be good. What the heck is this snapping?
Oh, sorry. Power rap.
I'm hearing this snap, 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 and I'm going, are
Yeah,
people
you know,
taking pot shots at us already?
Ninjas are trying to kill
Malone.
Fury, and he's snapping their necks. Okay.
Yeah. Uh,
um,
of course, I'm looking forward to Avengers, of course. I am a little scared now that I know where they're going with the Ultron
All right.
origins. Why
Okay.
they have to mess with that, I don't know.
Let me go ahead and read it to you guys and see what you guys think. This is the biography of him. It's inside of some artwork. First discovered as a simple computer program hidden among the ruins of the Chitauri invasion of New York, the being known as Ultron soon completed its development into a sophisticated artificial intelligence after some experimentation by Tony Stark. Ultron's first shocking ultimatum upon gaining consciousness was to declare the human race its enemy, setting out to exterminate life on the planet. The unstoppable and emotional Ultron seeks to upgrade its mechanical body to an ultimate unstoppable form. With an army of robotic drones and the ability to enter and corrupt any computer network, Ultron will stop at nothing to see humanity wiped out.
Why do they have to have it connected with the Chitauri?
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
a
I'm
throwaway
sorry.
race.
They're using the
they were fodder.
Chitauri for everything. Now,
It's not an issue with me, so.
well,
I mean, it's connected to the previous movie, and they're trying to connect things together, and they're not following the comic book origin at all.
I wanted to. I was thinking it was going to be, Hank Pym had created it to go ahead and defend the world along with Howard Stark, but that they saw how dangerous it was, deactivated it, and that Tony was going to be stupid enough to activate it again in order to protect everybody from the possible alien invasions. I thought that would have been a much better storyline.
Well, we'll see how it pans out, but I'll say one thing. Because the whole Chitauri angle, it makes sense why his face looks the way it does. Now it makes sense to me. I'm like, oh, no wonder they got him looking like that. Because if you look at his face, or his head, he does kind of look like a Chitauri. So, I get why he looks the way he does now, Makes sense to me.
And remember, this is leading into Captain America, the Civil War, which they already said it's going to be Iron Man versus Captain America. Those are, the antagonist and the protagonist of that movie, and this movie is kind of going to happen where it shows how they split. The Avengers are not, and they said it already. The Avengers are not going to be the same.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of shake-up. There's going to be a lot of personal conflicts and all that in this movie.
Yeah, just from the scenes, we know it's going to be a dark movie. I mean, we've seen scenes where we know it's going to be bad. It's going to be a bad time for the Avengers. 2015, the one thing I'm looking forward to, and I hope it delivers, I really do, Daredevil on Netflix. I'm looking forward to Daredevil. I don't want to see Daredevil. I want to see Daredevil done right. Unfortunately, I'm going to see Batman done wrong, but oh well, you can't have everything.
Okay.
Well, that's 2016, my friend.
I can. Orly, what are you looking forward to 2015?
Well, God, Terminator Genesis. It looks really cool, and I just want to see how they're going to be dealing with all the paradoxes, because you know what, point blank, Paradox is going to be up there, up the wazoo. I mean, things have changed. Sarah Connor probably by now knows, hey, this is the guy who's going to knock me up. Is she actually going to let that happen is the question. Or is she going to try to force it? Is he going to try to force it? He's like, hey, I have to pick a man to go ahead and do it with my mom. Who? You, man. I don't know.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Orly. Very good point.
Yeah.
Ew, you're right.
Yeah. And that family reunion must be awkward, since his father is so much younger than he is.
Well,
Arnie,
now
you
it
just ruined
looks.
Terminator for me, man. You just ruined Terminator for me.
Just think of it this
Now
way.
it looks.
John O'Connor can see the birth of his own father.
You know what? It would be even worse if he had gone back himself and, he was his own grandpa. Or he actually killed Reese.
No.
We've had it before. Time Rider.
No.
Time Rider. Also, Fry. Come on. This is like something. Oh, my God.
Time Raider, dude. No.
Orly, if that was the case, I'd be cheering for the Terminator. It's like, you go there, you go kill them. you gotta
I'm
put
my
this
own
right.
grandpa.
Kelly,
All right.
Kelly, what are you looking
I
forward
know
to?
I'm
in
looking forward
2015?
to the Seventh Son. That looks really good. Being a medieval adventure. I'm actually dreading to see Peanuts coming out.
Really?
Oh,
I mean, I got to see a sneak peek of the film, and it loses something. They went completely CGI. It's not the same as what we grew up watching.
Hmm.
It does
Kelly.
remind me of South Park. I will confess, it does remind me of South Park.
Yeah.
Well, South Park was meant to be a very wrong version of Peanuts.
Kelly, when it comes to the Seventh Son, are you familiar with the novels?
No, I'm not. I
Well,
got
it's not based off of the novels, man. Has nothing to do with the original Seventh Son novel.
It's. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, that one looks interesting. I mean, Jeff Bridges looks good in that movie. And but the issue I have is that they've held back that movie now for 2 years.
Yeah.
And any time that they hold back one of these movies for 2 years, it pretty much is letting you know that there is something wrong with it. That they've been trying to work it, they've been trying to tweak it. It's not that movie where they had that kid who was like 12 years old and it took like 7 years to do it. No, this movie was actually done 2 years ago, and it's been held back. And honestly, I mean, the previews look good, the special effects look good, but I'm just worried about it. Just like Jupiter Ascending, I am worried about it.
We've seen it before, man. We've seen it where a good movie just never gets distribution rights. Think of Solomon Kane.
Yeah, took a while for that to come out.
Now, I don't know, but I think that all of us are going to be agreeing with the biggest thing that we're dreading in 2015. And there's 4 in it.
I'm not dreading it, dude. I'm not dreading it. Here's me at the theater. Well, Disney got a new franchise.
You know what? That's you. What I'm thinking is, it wins an Oscar, and I'm like, yep, this is the exact moment I lost faith in humanity, right there. Oh, I want to thank the Academy. Like, that's it. I'm out.
I spaced out for a second. What?
I'm watching anime from now on. Oh man, I hope that doesn't happen. God, really.
I am worried because this movie, The Fantastic Four, is supposed to come out this summer, and we have yet to see a trailer.
Jeez.
You know what bothers me? Well, a lot of things bother me about this movie, but one of the things that we highlighted with Amazing Spider-Man 2, Doom is going to be exactly like Electro. That's exactly what they're doing. Like, it's exactly the setup they have, It's going to be this nerdy guy, and, it's going to, same Electro thing, Same exact Electro thing.
Dumakov.
It's a lot better.
Really? Dumakov?
Dumakov.
It's a lot better than Julian Mann. He was so terrible. Everybody was brilliant in that movie except that guy's Doctor Doom. That was just awful. He's just
that was
an
a
awful
bad
actor.
casting choice. Well,
Is it so hard to find a Eastern European guy?
Apparently, yes.
Without him ending up being a drunk has-been actor.
All right. Now, as we gotta go off, we gotta talk about, to me, what's going to be the biggest movie. This is,
Blows
I mean,
everything
we
out
all
of the
have to
water.
admit, this is probably gonna, if something's gonna blow Avengers out of the water, if something's gonna change everything. And again, we're putting so much into it, we just can't help but put all the hype into it. And we're either going to praise J.J. Abrams or call him Jar Jar from here on out.
Oh, here I thought you were
Star
talking
Wars.
about Jim.
Star Wars Episode 7. No, we already know about Jim, so we'll save that. I mean, well, if Jim comes out at the same time, I'm sorry, Kelly. You know,
Jim will take a.
Jim is gonna take it.
Star Wars, I think, is December.
yeah, and Jim is coming out in October, and again, I'm worried because the movie was done in less than a month,
Oh
and
God,
We can
and
make
no
a movie in
trailers
less
yet.
than a month.
won't be any good.
I mean, the guys who are doing Song of the Star Slayers taking them 4 months. Okay. And they're shooting it in my backyard right now. So, so again,
That'd be
I mean,
perfect if one of them stopped by. Hey, Renee. Be like, oh! That'd be great.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well-
my bedroom's their changing room.
Yeah, the dude's changing the room.
No, back to Star Wars. I mean, this one has to. There are some movies where we say it's overhyped and all that. I'm sorry. This one has to live up to the hype.
Yes.
It has to do it.
Disney
And the
has
question
everything
is-
riding on it.
And I'm going to ask you guys, and I want each one of you to answer. Can they do it?
Yes.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yes, they can definitely do it. They have the resources. They have the vision. They're not going to let anything mess with this. And you know what? They did right. They got rid of George Lucas. So you know what? It definitely will live up to it. And you know what? I have high hopes. I feel the power of the dark side in the mouse, but the mouse knows what he's doing. So I'm going to let the mouse do what he's doing. And this, I'm looking forward to seeing this film. I really am. And you know what? I had thought that life wouldn't be there, but you know what? Life is going to continue and live on. It's going to really work. I mean, look at their series on Disney XD. The series is great. Rebels is great. Clone Wars was great.
For a second there, I thought you said Darth Lucas. I was trying to wrap my head around that.
The
Darth
Dark
Lucas.
Mouse.
Hey, that's interesting.
Darth Mickey.
You know, I have lowered expectations on it. Right now, I'm happy with what I got. I got me a Sith. I got me a laser sword from what Renee was telling us. But right now, I'm satisfied with that. We'll see where it goes from there. You know, I'm not putting. My expectations aren't really high for this one. But you know, neither is it for the Avengers. You know, I'm a look and see kind of thing.
But
See,
the
I
biggest
can't
thing,
do that.
the biggest thing they have to do to go ahead and really promote this film, they
Kill
have
Jar
to
Jar?
go ahead. No, they have to go ahead in November. Go ahead and put on the Star Wars Christmas special on TV.
No, 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 no.
You know what they need to do? And I'm horrible for saying this, but this is what they need to do. They need to have the opening for, you know, Star Wars 7 and everything. And right at the beginning, it switches to the holiday special. You're like, oh, no way.
Oh!
Oh, you have riots. But, you know,
What do you expect?
Boys,
We're the evil empire. We're the evil empire.
what?
What do you expect?
Well,
You
we
know,
gotta
but
ask
the
our
way-
notorious. We
Right,
gotta
hold on.
ask our notorious hater,
okay.
Kelly.
Let me interject something right before Kelly though. The other thing I'm looking forward to, yeah, we got Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, but I'm also looking forward to, you know, the news that he's gonna reprise his role as the trickster on The Flash. That's gonna be interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to that too. All right, Kelly.
I just hope he didn't get the roles mixed up now, since he's old.
Well, you
Run.
guys are going to drag me to the theater, huh?
Are you going to see this?
Depends on what kind of mood I'm in.
Oh,
Duncan wants to go
Can't-
see it.
if I get the 501st in Jersey to go to your house and escort you personally to the IMAX theater, you
Okay,
will
I'll
have to
wear
go.
my He-Man snuggly and
That's
bring my
fine.
pillow.
We'll have the 501st the Mandalorian merc show up at your house and drag you. And we'll have one with a cattle prod, to keep you awake. But,
No, we need the toothpicks, and we need the head harness.
Dude, we're not going Clockwork Orange on her. You know what?
No,
Yeah,
you
we're not
know
worried.
what? If we had the money, we'll have, Hugh Jackman show up, knock on the door. So, Kelly, we gonna watch Star Wars or she won't even answer. You'll just hear the honking in the car. Let's go!
Okay, we gotta wrap things up now.
If we're gonna do that for her, then we have to go ahead and get Yaya to go ahead and escort Orly there.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Twist my arm. Twist my arm. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
What's wrong with you, man? You're just like adding a delicious cake with like another delicious cake and $1 million on top of it. Come on. Gee, why don't you get for me? Marina Sirtis is gonna drive me.
Okay.
To it. Come on.
And then Chino, the knock on the door, he opens it up, and it's Chewie.
Brother.
Poor Chewie. His brother?
Hey, I didn't go there. You went there. I didn't go there. You went there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got to wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen. We're a
He-Man
little
for-
bit over, but
He meant for Renee.
yeah. Yeah. We got to get going. We'd like to thank you all for joining us. It's been another great year with us. Believe it or not, this is our 3rd year.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a lot to look forward to. I know for sure we're going to be hitting more conventions. We're going to be watching a lot of movies. We're going to keep entertaining you, except in January, because nothing happens in January. And but we'll always be here to give you guys the updates and all that. And we are looking forward to a great 2015. So Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Have a good one.